Did they talk
Yeah,
to you about the water and
you
how
know, they
important it is?
they spoke to me about the water. I'm gonna be honest, I never sat there even after surgery and measured my water. So I had approached my surgeon about it and I said, like, I really don't think measuring my water is gonna like work for me. And he was
Yeah.
like, why? And I said, I need to listen to my body. Like, if my body's telling me I had enough, I'm going to listen to my body. And he's like, by all means, like, listen
Mm-hmm.
to your body and listen to
Yep.
yourself. And that's what I did.
Welcome back, guys, to our Sleeve Life podcast. I am your host, Mel, like always. And today we have a patient story. These I love because we get to get the firsthand of what people go through, especially in this generation, this dynamic, because it is different. I had surgery 10 years ago. So I am going to introduce you to someone that I hope you guys already know, but if not, go follow her after this. Her name is Jenna from the Sleeve Cub. Welcome on to our Sleep Life podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy, like I even said to you, to finally be able to get on and share my story. And hopefully it helps others. So,
I think it will. I know a little bit about Jess, so what I do know, I love. But for those that don't know you, can you kind of give us a glimpse of one, like who you are? When did you have VSG, R and Y? Like,
mhm.
what is your story? Where did it come from?
Yeah. So I am, wow, can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to be 30 next week. We were just saying our birthdays are right next to each other.
That's
So
right.
I will be 30 next week and I'm from New York, if you can't tell from the accent, but I was overweight my entire life. Surgery was always something that was brought up bariatric
Oh,
wise.
really? It was okay.
It was, yeah, but I just never really wanted to go down that path. And also, like, I mean, I'll dive deeper in, but like my mom, may her soul rest in peace. Like, it just was not in it. Like, she heard that and was like, no, no,
Oh,
no, no.
really? Okay.
Yeah, it was very like not doing it. So for years, I tried to lose weight, like so bad. And I did. Back in high school, I did a like nutritional plan and lost over 80 pounds on my
Damn.
own. And I did really well. And then, of course, I gained the weight back plus more, which
Right.
happens, right?
Oh, it happens
And
to so
then,
many, so
yeah.
many.
And I knew why. So I wasn't like sitting there being like, why did I gain the weight back? Because I knew why I was gaining the weight back.
Right. Right.
But I was, like, really frustrated and kinda, like, tug-of-warring with myself. So
Okay.
I ended up going to my primary care, and it just got to the point, like, I saw the number 350, and
Okay.
350 just was like that dun dun dun, and, like, I saw
Mm-hmm.
that, and I broke down.
Yeah.
It was not something that I ever wanted to get to, but clearly I put myself into that position and got there. And I ended up doing my research, trying to find like the right bariatric surgeon to go to. Now, mind you, like in the midst of it, I was like, there's no right bariatric surgeon, right? Like that's what was going through my head.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then someone that I know had posted their weight loss. And I reached out to her. Her name is also Jenna.
Ah,
And
I
I
love
reached
it.
out to her and I was like, hey, like you look amazing. Like, how did you do that? And she's like, I had gastric sleeve surgery. And I was like, you did? Mind you, she was not like very like announcing of it. Like she just
Right. Right.
lost the weight and whatever. So I was like, oh my gosh, who did you go to? And she mentioned my now surgeon. So I went to Dr. Jawed in New Jersey. I literally recommend him to every person that I come into contact with that lives in New York or anywhere close by. And actually people that I have met through social media have gone to him and got
Oh,
the
that's
surgery as
cool.
well, which is really cool. So I ended up going to meet with him. And the one thing I really was looking for when it came down to a bariatric surgeon was that they wanted to know like my reason for why I needed it.
Yeah.
Not like, yeah, I'm ready to cut you open and let's just go through the phases, but like actually deeply like understand like why I needed it, like what my story is, what my journey is. And he did. He sat with me for over 2 hours. And
Whoa.
he was at the time, it was my boyfriend, but now we're engaged.
Oh,
But thank you, thank
congratulations.
you. So he was there with me with the appointment, and what I loved is, like, he was able to ask questions. Like, he was involved in the consultation as well, and that's something that was important to me because support is everything, and as
It
you
is.
know, as those that are a part of the community know that. And I ended up agreeing to everything, right? I went through the process, and some say like it's a struggle bus. It is, and it really is. I will never deny that it wasn't a struggle, but it really is mind over matter. And I
Yep.
just was so in it to win it that I just did it.
Yeah.
And I ended up having gastric sleeve surgery. For myself, that was the only option just because of I didn't really have any underlying health issues besides being quote unquote obese. I didn't have any diabetes. I had the start of diabetes, but I wasn't there yet, thank
Oh,
goodness.
thank
I
goodness.
didn't have any heart disease, so gastric sleeve for me was the one option that was available on the table, and I took it. I had the surgery was scheduled for February 22nd of 2022. So
Oh,
22222. And
oh,
I
fuck
loved
yeah.
the date. Like I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's perfect. Angel numbers, it's great." And unfortunately, my mom passed away, which I had mentioned to you. My mom got very, very sick, and my mom passed away January 28th of 2022.
Whoa.
Yeah. And mind you, I'm now preparing
Yeah.
for this life-changing surgery. And I will tell you, she knew that I was getting it done, and she was fully supportive, fully on
Oh,
board.
good.
Mind
I
you,
was gonna
she
ask.
didn't like it in the beginning, but she was
Right.
fully on board because just what would have been if I didn't do it, and then compared to what is now, right? Like,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, she's not here to physically see it, but the difference is insane.
Right.
So,
Right.
it's just, I'm happy I made this decision, but like, I understand where she was coming from in that moment.
Were you on your liquid diet
Oh
when
my
this
gosh.
happened?
So, when people hear how long I was on my liquid diet for, their jaws drop. I was
I'm
on
sure.
pre-op liquid diet for a month and a half.
Like I just dropped. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So why are we on a
So,
liquid diet that long?
the reason why, inside I was extremely inflamed or whatever the medical
Okay.
term is that they used, they really needed me to completely lose as much as I could.
Okay.
So, my surgeon really just said, like, if you can, like, let's do this. And I was like, I'm good. I'm good. Let's
Like,
do it.
let's
Like,
go. Yep.
I was really in it. Like, I went to parties. I even think went to a wedding and I was on the all liquid. There were definitely
Damn.
events around when and I just did it. Like, if you're all in it, like,
Hmm.
and I do a lot of like self reflection, self talking, like doing that, you'll be fine. So I did it for a month and a half, and like I found little things that like I enjoyed, right? Like, so one of my favorite things is French onion soup. Like, it's just like
Okay.
warm and cozy to me. Like, I love it. You can't have the bread, you can't
No.
have the onions, you can't have the cheese. So what I would do is I would call my local diner
Okay.
and I would tell them, I want French onion soup, but I don't want the bread, I don't want the cheese, and I don't want the onions. And they're like, well, what do you want? I'm
Then
like, the broth.
yeah.
And they would just put it in a container for me, and that's what I lived off.
Damn.
Literally, like,
Damn.
that Premier Protein was like my go-to. No offense to Premier Protein now, but I cannot smell it nor look at it anymore.
Pretty
I
normal. It's pretty
Yeah, it's
normal. Yeah.
completely normal. I made sure I was completely hydrated with water. I would do like the little Crystal Light packets to kind of get a little bit of flavor in. And I did that for a month and a half prior to surgery. And I ended up losing, I want to say it was like 20 pounds, which
All
I
right.
was told to target between 15 and 20. So
Oh, well, then there
I
you
hit it,
go.
which was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So date of surgery. So now mind you, I go in for the surgery. I, get all checks across the board as far as like clearance. I go in for surgery and my starting weight was 290.
Okay.
And I go in for surgery. And so now, mind you, like I said, 350 was like my highest weight ever. Obviously, throughout time and preparing for this surgery, I kind of like navigated to create a lifestyle for myself to
Okay.
understand like what my body was about to go to.
So did you start building habits prior to surgery?
Correct.
What does
Correct.
that look like for
So
those
what it,
that are like, because I highly recommend this because
yeah.
it makes your journey a lot easier as you move through it. So what did you do?
Yeah, so for me, I really just listened to the nutritionist and
Okay.
dietitian that my surgeon recommended. And I kind of was like starting like the phases, right? I was doing more liquids, I was doing more soft foods, kind of doing like a combination of like including like a good amount of protein and water intake. So I wasn't doing anything super drastic, but I was kind of like finding the guidelines that they were showing me and kind of
Hmm.
like tweaking it a little bit here and there into my daily life. And then when I was told to do the all liquid diet, that's when I really like set in
Uh-oh.
place and like dove right into it.
Did they
Yeah.
tell you, like, did you get your water all ready to go? Like, how did they talk
Yeah,
to you about the water and
you know
how
they
important it is?
they spoke to me about the water. I'm going to be honest, I never sat there even after surgery and measured my water. Um my journey really was just listening to my body. I made
I love
sure
that.
that I listened to myself cuz I see a lot on social media and cuz when I had the surgery, it was not really announced on social media.
Right.
Going back to 2022, like it's not as big and grand as it is now. And going back to that, like I didn't have really the videos to watch, like what people were doing to kind of feed
Mhm.
off of that. So I kind of was like in it alone without being alone, if that makes sense. So I had approached my surgeon about it and I said, like, I really don't think measuring my water is gonna like work for me. And he was
Yeah.
like, why? And I said, I need to listen to my body. Like, if my body's telling me I had enough, I'm going to listen to my body. And he's like, by all means, like, listen
Mhm.
to your body and listen to
Yep.
yourself. And that's what I did. And I'll be honest, that's what I even do now. Like,
Oh,
throughout my
good.
entire journey, all I've done is just listened to myself. I
So you
haven't,
haven't measured in anything.
nothing, nothing.
That's wild,
I'm
guys.
even
I've
talking
never heard
about
this before.
no, seriously, like, I'm even talking about, like, obviously the phases after surgery, right? Like, you have the liquid, then you have the puree, you have the soft puree, you have the going into
Mhm.
more formed foods, then you go into regular diet. Every surgeon does it different, but that's how mine was, right?
Yeah.
And I followed that to a T. But not once did I count how much water I was intaking. I was making sure I was intaking enough, but I was truly listening to my body.
Yeah.
I never ever, and this is like a shock to a lot of people because they're like, how did you like maintain it like all these years? I never calculated my protein.
That's crazy.
It's wild.
That's
And
wild.
it's crazy because like as crazy as it sounds to like only listen to your body, that's your biggest tool is listening
It
to
is.
yourself.
It
Because
is. Yeah.
if I had done that and listened and truly understood myself and what I deserved years before that, I wouldn't have gotten to the 350.
Right. Well, that's kind of the deal is that I feel like we were so disconnected from our bodies
Yeah.
that we didn't know what any cues were, what they
No.
even are, what they mean. We didn't understand like, hey, it's actually not like I remember these days of celebrating like, oh, I ate so much my stomach hurts. Like you're gonna
Yeah.
have to roll me out of here. Like, all of us were like, this is amazing. And
Yeah.
all we're doing is fucking really tearing up our insides.
Seriously.
Like, it is
Yeah.
crazy, but there was no connection, like, we didn't realize, like, literally, the whole saying, like, "You are what you eat,"
Correct.
and we used to make fun of it, whatever, but you're not really, like you're not gonna turn into the cereal that you're eating, the sour cream that you're putting on the cheese, but
Mhm.
what you are doing is you're changing the makeup of the inside of your body,
Correct.
and what you put in your now we know from doing the surgery too,
Hmm.
that, like, there is a direct correlation of food and drinks of what you're putting in your body
Correct.
will, directly affect you within 15-20 minutes. Like,
Oh,
it is quickly.
oh yeah.
So, I love that you're listening to your body because we never did. You
True.
know, like I was over 300 pounds as well. So it's like, yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it. Like
Yeah.
that wasn't even in my forefront. It took actually to I would say around year two-ish to really like understand what everything was happening because I feel like I was so disconnected. And because I had it around the time you did, I was 28.
Yeah, see.
So, because I was like mindset of I am not going in my 30s, fucking over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
I need to correct this now because I'm
You don't know where
thinking
you're going.
I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know how old your mom was when she passed, but when my dad passed, he was
Oh, I'm
59.
sorry. Yeah, my
So
mom was 68. She was just about to turn 69. Yeah.
they're young. They're
So
fucking
young.
young.
So
And
young.
so in my head, I was like, if I'm almost halfway there, technically, if I die when my dad dies. So I was like freaking out inside. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
gotta change, gotta do something.
Well, that
And
was it for me. Like, for me, it was like being told, like, oh, my future could possibly be this and that, and not
yeah,
being able to have kids and not being able to, physically be there, right? Like, that's a toll. Like, no one wants to be told that or hear that or, be a part of that.
not at all.
My both my parents, I'm very thankful my father's here. My mom, passed from ALS. ALS
Okay.
really took over. But my parents, both were overweight. My
Hmm.
mom, even going back, like my mom and I, at the age of 14 that I was, we were going to Weight Watchers together. Like,
Okay.
this is going back in the day, like when Weight
Yep.
Watchers was fun. Now it's a little different, but but like
It's way different. Yeah.
but this is going back, like, and so this was not, I woke up one day and I was 350 pounds. Like,
Mm-mm.
this was childhood for me. This was,
Yep.
getting older. This was then. And, even now, right? Like, now I'm not obese. I'm not considered obese, which is like amazing to me.
Yeah.
But, you know, my journey will never end. Like, and that's why I always say, like, okay, I did the work. I've succeeded.
Yeah.
I'm continuing the work and I'm succeeding, but
Hmm.
I'm never going to stop not listening to myself, because if I
No.
stop listening to myself, I'm going to go back to what I was,
Yeah, because you look how far you've come by just listening to you and
myself.
doing what's right for you.
Correct.
And that can go in lots of different ways. That can be full body, that could be mental,
Correct.
that could be financial. Like, I don't want anybody to do anything that they don't feel comfortable doing.
Correct. And I always say that, and I love that you brought that up. Like, this surgery, regardless if it's VSG, SADI, RNY, bypass, whatever the case is not for everyone.
Mm-mm.
And I never sit there on like my social media, and same with you. Like, you never sit on your podcast or your social media and promote it as like you need to do it. Like,
No.
that is never the case. I will share my story. I will
Mm-hmm.
share my success. I will share how much it's changed my life. But that's up to the individual to want to do it and to know that it's for them. If it's
Right.
not for them, that's okay, because there's
Yeah.
something for everyone and there's a change that can be made for everyone. But that's up for the individual to decide.
Oh, 100%. I think I've pride myself on just making sure you guys feel comfortable in the decision that you make
Correct.
because I have been shamed my whole life of all the decisions that I make, and it's been wild, and it's crazy because people were like, when I had this done 10 years ago, they were just like, "Are you sure you're gonna be able to do it?" Like,
Yeah.
I had so many family members and friends, like, it made me feel very, like, uncomfortable because it made me think, like, "Who do you think I am?" Like, "You just think
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, like, do a surgery and then not follow what the doctor tells me to do?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna do the things that I should be doing?" Like, and I was almost offended because I'm like, what have I put in the atmosphere to make you think that? Like, I
Yeah.
was a single mom at 19 and I've been able to survive ever since then.
Yeah. And
Like,
look what you've
no,
done. Yeah.
look what I've done. No one pays my damn bills. I pay my own bills. I'm
Yeah.
just like, this is interesting. So, like, being able to do it and then prove all those people, like, hey, no, like everybody gets to make their own decisions about
Yeah.
their body. Like that whole like my body, my choice is literally goes to everything. And that's
No.
not just women, that's men too, guys. Like
Yeah. No,
we want
this
to
journey is for both men and women. It
both
doesn't matter,
just
you know?
human beings, guys. We just
Yeah.
want you to be healthy. So
That's it.
so Jenna, so basically yours started when you were young and you hit that age of 28 and you're like, we got to do some shit.
Oh, yeah.
So, what was it like after surgery for
Oh,
you?
man.
Was it hard to get the food down? Was it hard to work out? Like,
Well,
what was going on?
Well, funny enough, I woke up from surgery and like if anyone that watches this follows me on TikTok, you will see like my video of when I woke up from surgery and I'm like, I did it. Like you probably
Oh,
saw
I
that video.
love it. Yeah.
And I woke up and I just got up and walked. Like I started walking, like, because that's the
Wow.
first thing to let the gas out. I'll be
Mhm.
honest, I had no pain except for the gas. The gas was like my
Yay!
enemy. That was the only pain I had. And the gas kind of like sat with me for like 4 or 5 days. After that, it kind of subsided.
Okay.
Getting water down was fine for me. I didn't have any struggle to get water down. I
Nice.
actually trained myself because I wanted to take so much in at once.
Mhm.
But again, listened to myself and understood that like your body just went through a lot.
Yeah.
Understand that you're not chugging bottles and bottles of water now. Like we
Nope.
gotta take it with grace. And I listened to my body, like I've been saying, and water was fine. Coming home, I again was not in any type of discomfort, definitely super, super swelled, like swelling was like
Okay.
crazy in my stomach. I had 5 incisions. So I had one mid, one by the belly button, and two on the left side, one on the right.
Okay.
So those were my incisions. I know everyone's surgeon does
Nope.
it differently. Some do have bags, but I didn't have any bags.
I didn't have any bags. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that it's more like a recent thing that surgeons are doing that now, but I didn't have any bags. And then I just started my journey. I actually have my folder. Well, I thought I had it here, but I have my folder still of like what I had to do week
Mhm.
1, week 2, week 3, and I posted that everywhere in the house
Yep.
on my phone as my wallpaper, and I followed it to a T all throughout the 5 weeks of each phase.
I love it.
And I followed each phase and I lost weight like dramatically. Like
Yeah.
it was just like, yep, we'll take 10 pounds from you and 20, like it just came off. And I did try now this is funny. People always ask me like, when did you try carbonation? That's
Oh,
always a
yeah. That's
question.
a big,
It's
yeah,
a
it's a
big,
big question.
big question.
Yeah.
I tried it after like 2 months, which is
Oh my
fairly
god.
fast. It was like
Yeah.
two and a
Yeah.
half. Maybe I'll give myself a little bit of, 2.5, whatever. And the reason I did that is because seltzer was something I always loved. I
Okay, your
love
salsa water.
seltzer. Like, and now I'm moving in. I have Coke Zero by me. Like, I love seltzer, but I also loved soda. Like, I
Yeah.
loved it.
Okay.
But I said, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? I get a little nauseous. I get a little flash. I get sweaty. Maybe I pass out. Who knows? So I tried it and I had no issue.
Look at
I
that.
said, wow. So I didn't pass out. I didn't sweat. I
Mm-mm.
didn't nothing. And it was fine. So I called my surgeon and I said, just want to let you know, I tried seltzer. And he goes, how did
Yeah.
that go? And I was
Yeah.
like, it went amazing. And he was like, but I thought you were going to wait another month. And
Ah!
I was like, you thought, I thought, but I didn't care. And I just did it anyway. So, point being is that's just another part of me just listening to myself and understanding that I felt like I was able to try it. And I feel like a lot of the times people have like just fear, 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 and fear just
Yes.
stacks and stacks and stacks. But the thing is, I mean, I'll use words my mom always used, like, you don't know until you try. And like, she always used the term, like, you don't know unless you ask, right? There's no
Yep.
such thing as no. So for me, I tried it. And the worst case was that I got sick, but I didn't get sick. So
Mhm.
from there, I tried soda. But I said,
Okay.
I'm not going to try Diet Coke or regular Coke. I'm going to move into zero sugar,
Zero.
right?
Mhm.
Zero sugar, everything. As long as it says zero sugar, it's my best friend. Tried Coke Zero and it was fine. Now, mind you, now if I try to drink like a Diet Coke or whatever, I can't.
No, not
I
happening.
no, it will not happen. I hate the taste to me is like tar. Like it's
Oh,
weird.
it's gross. It's
It's
gross.
disgusting.
That's what's interesting about when you stop drinking the things or eating the things,
Yes.
right? And then whenever you choose to bring that back in, I highly recommend the longer that you wait, the better. Just
Correct.
especially when it's your trigger foods.
Yeah.
I will preface this with trigger foods because I am a culprit of doing it too soon, and now they're in my life,
See, and
and it's very annoying.
that was me with, like, snacking, right? Because
Yeah.
snacking was my enemy, and snacking was the reason I got to 350.
Yep. Yep.
Meaning when I say snacking, I mean, like, tubs and tubs of ice cream,
Okay.
100-calorie packs, but, like, turning the 100-calorie pack into 600 calories because I had all the packs in the pack.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
so that to me was, like, the villain of it all.
Yeah. And that's what I'm
And
saying, guys. Be careful because
like, something like that, I eased into that.
Mhm.
Like, especially because it's more of a solid, right? Like, as far as, like, drinks go, it's a liquid, right? Easier to come out. But that to me was like, I have to ease into that. And,
Oh, yeah.
ice cream, I started with, obviously, like, during the liquid, I was doing, like, ice pops and fudgicles and, like, all that stuff, and that was fine. But, like, easing into ice cream, and not gonna lie, when I first had, like, the little bit of ice cream,
Mhm.
I wasn't looking for more. Like,
That's good.
and even now, like, I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I want ice cream." Like, and I'll go see to Carvel, right? Because Carvel has the best ice cream. And
Okay.
I'll go get ice cream, and I get literally the kids cup because it's like
Mhm.
this big, not even, and I won't even finish it. I'll have 3 spoonfuls, that's it, but it satisfies me.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
always say if you keep denying yourself of the things that you love and you're not patient about it, it's gonna be the first thing that you want
Mhm. And it's gonna
forever.
bite you. It's gonna
It's
bite
gonna
you in the
bite
butt.
you. Because
Yeah.
you're gonna look at it, want it, and then want more, and want more, and want more, and it's gonna be a never-ending cycle. That's the
Well,
problem.
and I don't know about you, but for me, I will think about it. So
Yes, over and over
before
and
the over and over before the
yeah.
GLP-1s came out, like I just started a GLP-1 a year ago. So I've only been on
Yes.
it for 1 year, but like that was a big deal and you guys are going to have to figure out how to deal with that too is when you let in certain foods, now all of a sudden you're just thinking about it all day long.
Over and over.
And for me, I'm like, "Ooh, I want that ice cream. When do I get it? How do I get it? If I finish my work right now, can I go get it?" Like it was
Constant
obsessiveness.
thought.
It was so fucking frustrating, and I do wanna preface the carbonation. So,
Yeah.
before we go, "Hey, guys, it's fine around 3 months."
Yeah,
There is
don't.
I don't like, here's the thing, listen to your body like she's saying. I'm
Correct,
definitely an advocate for that. I just want people to know why they tell you that. So,
correct.
there's a few things, because when I tried carbonation for the first time, it hurt. It was
Yeah.
not fun. It made a bunch of bubbles in my tummy and legit, like, I could feel it in my throat, and it took a while, like, I'd have to, like, pace around, arms up, doing the
Yeah,
thing
lean
for it
back,
to
yeah.
yeah, trying to get it to move. And I also was not a carbonation girl prior anyway.
Mhm.
I don't like seltzer water. I find it fucking disgusting. I one time because my old co-host, she loves it. And so like I would be thirsty and I would forget that she would have the carbonation. And I would be like, "Oh my God, my water's out. Can I have some?" And I would grab it and I'm like, "Oh, this is
Oh god,
awful.
yeah.
What is this? Oh, it's like bitter water. What is happening? This is crazy." I felt like it was attacking my mouth. Like it was
Oh my
wild.
god.
Um, so like legit, like I was like, no carbonation. But the reason why they tell you that is because typically anything that has carbonation has
Mhm.
sugar,
Correct,
right? It has some sort of sugar, corn syrup, things that are just not good for you.
correct.
So it's so much easier to tell a patient no carbonation
Mhm.
because it can hurt you. It's like I
Yeah,
said, for me, it was painful. There's other people that it was painful for. So it's so much easier to tell you that so that way you just don't do it.
correct.
Because once you introduce those sweet drinks, it's really harder to turn those off. Same thing
Yeah,
with coffee, they have you wait 30 days, and that's also because a lot of people put a bunch of fucking shit in it,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, they don't
there's
just drink it black, so
they don't drink it black. There's
yeah,
like I haven't met a person that only drinks it black.
no.
So, like,
Luckily,
unless
I
you're
don't
my
drink coffee, so I
grandmother,
don't
like
have to
the
worry about.
old people, like I love you guys. You're the ones that
Yeah.
are like, yeah, just give it to me straight. But this day and age is not happening. So
No.
that's why they tell you certain things just to make it a little easier on your
Yeah.
mind. So I didn't catch because of the way that your surgery date was and when your mom passed, you had to have moved that date. So
Correct.
it's in 2022, right?
Yes. So I didn't so what happened was, like, you mentally have to be prepared, right? And I was
Yes. Yes.
mentally ready, but that like, the loss of my mom was just I mean, it's the hardest thing, right?
Yeah. A parent
I
loss is huge.
yeah, I it
Yeah.
it it was the hardest thing, and, like, I was ready, but I just wasn't there. And
Yeah.
I had called my surgeon and I said, like, "This and this happened. Is there any way, like, you can move this?" Now, mind you, I work for the schools, right? So
Yeah.
I wanted to do it when I was off work, that way I could, like, recover. So I said, "Do you have April?" Because I was on break in April. So he goes, "I have April 19th, 2022." Perfect,
Okay.
book me in, scheduled me in. Thankfully, I didn't have to, like, redo everything, but
Mhm.
mind you, I still continued the all liquid diet, everything.
It's so
Yeah.
wild.
It was like, "Jenna, yeah, you're never ending this liquid diet. You're gonna continue this for the rest of your life." But it was worth it. I had the surgery April 19th of 2022. And yeah, so what is that? 3.5
3
years?
3.5 years, girl. So
Yeah.
how much have you lost?
So I am down over 150
Woo
pounds.
woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like overall, right? So my weight right now, I'm 150.
Damn. I
Yeah.
bet you feel so good.
Oh my gosh. I feel so good. I haven't been this weight in what, since fifth grade?
Right.
Like,
Yeah. No,
and
same.
that just like says it all. And I actually, July 2nd of this year, I had skin removal.
Okay.
Um, I did. Yeah. It was something that I was kind of looking into. I wanna say, like, 2 years post-op, and I was turned away. I was told I
Yeah.
wouldn't be covered, I wasn't ready, this, that, and the other, and I finally found, the surgeon that I ended up going to, is close by to me, 20 minutes away. Went to her,
Nice.
and what I loved is that she was honest with me, and for the first time, she was like, "You are ready." She's like, "You've lost a lot of weight." She goes, "But I think you need to lose roughly 20 to 25 pounds."
Okay.
So I'm like,
Why?
why?
Yeah.
Now, I'll lose whatever you want. You want me to lose 50, I'm going to lose 50 more, but like, why? And
Yeah.
she said, in order to get it covered, you're going to have to lose a certain amount. Now, everyone's insurance is different, but the protocol was mainly surrounding BMI. Now,
Yeah.
my BMI, mind you, my BMI used to be like 48.
Yeah.
Now I'm 29. Like my BMI is my age currently. So it's
Yeah.
like crazy to see like the difference, right?
Yep.
But so that was a big thing was get your BMI down and
Okay.
you'll be ready. I ended up losing 30 pounds
Of course.
and because I had to up it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why not? And I ended up going back. Well, I had called when I was down around 20. And I called and
Okay.
I said, "Can I make my appointment to come in to get another consultation?" They said, "No problem." Scheduled it in, had my consultation. She weighed me, did the numbers. She goes, "You're ready." She goes, "I'm going to submit everything to insurance and everything else, get it all ready to go. I'm telling you it's gonna be covered." She goes, "But you will not get a call from me you won't get a call from me, you'll get a call from the insurance company roughly
Okay.
about 2 weeks before surgery." So now she told me it was covered, but I really didn't know because
Yeah.
I had to wait to hear from them. I scheduled the date because why not? Let's just
Well, yeah.
play
Let's just see
around
what
with it.
happens. Yeah.
So I booked it for July 2nd of 2025, ended up getting the call from the insurance company, missed the call. They left me a voicemail. Thankfully, it was detailed. And
Yeah.
I saved the voicemail because I love it. And they said, "This is so and so, blah, 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 calling for Jenna Sannino. We want to let you know that your surgery for blah, blah, blah was fully covered." And I heard
Yay!
those words and I was like, "Thank you so very much." Because after being told that it wasn't going to be covered, it was going to
Yeah.
be, 60,000 here, this thousand here. Like, what? Like, I put in all this work and you're telling me it's not going to be covered? So mind you, I would do anything to get the skin removed, right? But hearing those pricings was like, no,
Oh, it's insane. Like
it's
I
insane.
do a so there is a side podcast, guys, that's coming out actually.
Oh, awesome.
So this is going to be airing on Monday, right before our birthdays.
Love it. Yes.
So the week after that is the new podcast, the side podcast. It's just with a plastic surgeon and a bariatric therapist.
Wow.
And the numbers are kind of wild because it varies by what you want, body part, where you're
Location.
at in
Yeah.
the United States. So my question to you is for your health insurance to cover it, were you just getting is it a pendectomy or
So I
the
had what's
panty?
called, so the way that my stomach the way I lost the weight and the way that my stomach kind of formed was called a slanted stomach. That's what my
Okay.
surgeon kind of like named it as. So my stomach had like almost like apron drapings, and
Okay.
then my stomach kind of went like this.
I was like a tilt. Okay.
Yes, tilted. So originally we were just going to do the panicolectomy, which is the hip to hip incision. She said to me, I feel that the best results for you would be a panicolectomy in Florida Lee. So now Florida
Yes, I
Lee
do too.
is
Hmm.
up, well, mid down, right? And that's where they initially like
Did
fix
they
the
do the
belly
T?
button. Yes. So I have a T incision. I was a little nervous about it because it's a big incision.
Yeah, it is.
It's not, I mean, it's the same depth, right? They go as deep as a C-section. So I've heard horror stories about C-sections. I also never had like obviously I had major surgery, which was VSG, but like I never had a major incision like that. So I
Right.
was very nervous for it, but I was so excited because I knew the work that I put in.
Yep.
And I went in that day. So again, I had July 2nd. So I went in that morning ready to go. Mind you, I did like a countdown on my TikTok. I was all
Yeah.
prepared to go. And I go, she, does my vitals. She comes in to do her art skills, I call it. I call her Picasso because she was incredible. And she's drawing on me and she's taking a pretty long time. And I looked down at her and I said, is everything okay? And she goes, "Yeah, why?" I said, You're taking you're stretching my skin more." Like I thought she was gonna tell me like you don't have enough skin, like because now all these negative thoughts are going through my head.
Oh, no, 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 no. You
Yeah.
got skin. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and I knew I did, but like the way she was doing it and taking so long, I was like, "Oh no, like what's happening?"
Mhm.
So I said to her, like, what happened? She goes, no, no. She's like, you're fine. She goes, I think I could take more than I thought.
Yeah.
So I was like, good. I was like, take it all.
Mhm.
I was like, whatever you can. So she did her drawings and then they took me in. It was roughly about, I want to say like 4.5 hours.
That's good.
Not
Yeah.
too bad. I woke up from surgery. I felt incredible. I was
Yay.
surprised to feel incredible because I've heard stories obviously and watched people go through the same surgery, and people have been on a struggle bus with it as far as
Yes.
pain. So
Yes,
I
yes,
was
yes, yes.
fully prepared, but I was very surprised that I didn't have the pain. And I remember asking the nurses to stand up and they said, "Are you sure? Like you ready?" And I was like, "I have to go to the bathroom." Now, mind you, that's the only way to get out of the hospital is if you go
You
to the
have to go back.
bathroom.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I said, "Yeah, I'm ready." So they're like, "Okay, let's get you a recliner, like set you up and everything." So I said, "Okay." They got me up and they go, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" Apparently, I was standing up straighter than people normally do.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that I was doing that, but that was just my body doing it.
Mhm.
And I said, "Yeah, why?" They're like, and they tell me that, and I'm like, "Am I not supposed to do that? Like, what is it all right?" And they were like, "Do you feel any pain?" And I was like, "Not really." And I'll be honest, any person that asks me like, "Did I have any pain?" I hate that like I say it because I don't want to seem like a liar,
Right?
but
Yeah, yeah.
I had no pain. I
Right.
had discomfort 100% because obviously like swelling and felt a bruising, but I didn't have pain. And I was very thankful that I didn't have pain because I really was expecting like the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
But I got home from surgery that day. I didn't stay at the hospital. I got home that day. I slept on a recliner for 2 weeks.
Okay.
I had a bag on each side, so one on one hip, one on the other. Obviously tracked the drains and everything else to make sure that I was draining enough. I went to my surgeon the day after surgery, and it's funny because she says that's my little trick to get people out of the house, and I'm like, "All right,
Mm,
fine. Well, I was getting up anyway, so it's fine."
that's funny.
Went to go see her, and she was amazed at how my like, incision looked. She's like,
I bet.
"You look incredible." And I was like, "Thank you." But, like, obviously, I'm not seeing it fully, right?
Yeah.
So then, obviously, I had to wear the binder, and, coming home, I wanna say the worst day of it all was day 4. Day
Okay.
4 for me was like, whew, like a
Mhm.
lot of like breath was taken. Like I just felt very, I think it was more like run down and like drained. Well, bad choice of words, but drained.
Literally. Yeah, yeah, no, because
Literally.
I was waiting for this because, by the end of the first week is really hard for
Yeah.
people. And that's what I hear just from, like, patients themselves and then from the surgeons. They're like, "No, they
Yeah.
really feel it about 72 hours after
Yeah.
is where you're gonna get that full effect, and it's gonna
Correct.
last a few days, and then you're gonna come out." It's just that first week, like, the end
Yeah.
of that first week is the harder part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me, it was like it really didn't hit me until like day 3, day 4 was like the worst. And then like day 5 was like, all right, we're easing past what we just dealt with day
Mhm.
4. But after day 5, I was good. I ended up going so the first day after surgery, I went to my surgeon. She didn't want to see me until a week post-op. Went to her. They removed one drain because from what my surgeon said and what she recommended is not to remove both at the same time because there could always be excess fluid that is
Yeah.
still trapped, which makes sense.
Mhm.
So she removed one side and I was still with this one and I was like, "Oh, I can't wait for this drain to come out," because like that was the only annoyance to me was like having this thing hanging on the side of me.
That's fair.
That was the
Yeah.
only thing that really like was getting me. I had that drain for only like 4 or 5 days more after that
Okay.
so a week and like 5 days say was the when that next one came out. When that drain came out, I was a new person. I
Yeah.
was able to after like 2 days after that was able to shower. Obviously, I wore the binder. I was driving. I
It
felt
was like a whole new woman.
oh my gosh, and I was finally able to see like, what she did. Like, I when I tell you my stomach is so solid, like, I look at it every day and I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
Like,
You're
"What?
like, "That's mine? Ooh."
What?" Like and then, like, I'll put my hand to it and I'm like, "Oh my god," like, there's abs under there and I'm gonna dig them out eventually, but they're there. And
They're
it's so
there.
funny because
Yeah.
she says, she's like, if you really like continuously worked out, which I really have to get back to that, but that's another story for another time. But she's like, you will see abs. She's like, you
Yeah.
will see it. And I'm
You
like,
will.
really?
They're
And she's like,
there. Yeah.
100%. So
Mhm.
my incisions look incredible. I have a lot of people that ask me like how my incisions look. I'm not one to really post them on social media just cuz
I was
like
gonna
that's
say,
personal.
I haven't
Yeah, it's
seen
a
them.
personal preference for me. I not that I'm ashamed of them because I'm never ashamed of my scars because scars and this is like cliche to say, but scars tell my story.
They
But
do.
I don't ever really post it because I'm not that kind of person to be like, "Yep, here you go." Like, you know,
I'm not either. It's
that's
so
just
hard.
that's just a me thing.
Mhm.
But from what I can say is my scars literally look like I had the surgery 2 years ago,
That's
and it's
amazing.
incredible,
So
incredible.
how much, skin did they remove? Did they tell you how much it weighed?
They did. So they removed 6 pounds of skin.
Yay! Look at
Yeah.
that.
6
'Cause
pounds, and originally she thought so that's where, like, she was like, "No, I think I could remove more," if you remember
yep,
from pre-surgery. So she originally thought she was gonna remove between 3 to 3.5 pounds.
she was able to double it.
She was able to double it, and that's why,
Yeah.
like, when she was moving my skin around and drawing, I knew something was off. Like, I didn't know what was wrong, but
Mhm.
that's what was wrong. But not wrong in a bad way, just wrong
No.
that she literally doubled it. Like, she was
Mhm.
able to double it. She said I had more skin than fat from the very beginning. And then what I loved is after surgery, she was able to confirm that, is that I had more skin than fat. And that was
Yep.
huge for me because that was one thing I was kind of nervous for surgery is that, okay, physically on the outside, you're seeing more skin than fat, right?
Right.
But internally, what is there really?
Yeah, we don't know. We're like, we're
We don't know.
hoping, like, we're fingers
Exactly.
crossing it, but,
Yeah,
like, we're
and that
not
was,
quite
like, a
sure.
huge thing for me because I was really
Mhm.
nervous, like, "Okay, you're seeing this on the outside, but, like, when you get inside, is it gonna be different?"
Right.
And that was one thing I was so happy about was, like, okay, it was straight up skin, and she
So,
removed it all.
how was the swelling?
Swelling, I was expecting a lot of swelling.
Yeah.
From what she told me, I was not as swollen as other patients.
Okay.
She said that could just be the way that my skin is.
Mhm.
It could just be like the way my skin tightened and whatnot. So swelling, I didn't really have an issue with. The only area that I had swelling, which they call elephant ears, was where the
Yes.
drains were.
Yeah.
Correct. So there, I still have a little bit of swelling, mind you. I'm what, 2.5 months post-op. I massage it lightly. I don't wear the binder every single day.
Okay.
I did wear it as per her, recommendation for how long I should wear it. When I do work out, I do wear a belt to obviously like take me in, stuff like
Mhm.
that. Love it. Almost like a faja sometimes if I feel like I want to like extra like suck me in and like just compress it. But I don't do it every day. I give my body like enough time to like heal on its own. But that's really the only area that I had swelling. And like I'm going back to her 2 weeks in 2 weeks and
Okay.
just for like a checkup, nothing
Yeah.
like, not because anything's wrong. And actually, she was like, I don't even need to see you. She's like, because you healed amazing. And I was like, no, 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 I want to come see
I
you.
wanna see
Like,
you. Yeah, yeah.
I was like for my own like well-being, like I just want to see her and like have her say, you know what, you're 3 months post-op, you're good. Like I just
Oh,
want to
yeah.
hear those words.
We need that confirmation, that
Yeah.
reassurance,
Yeah.
and yes, we can be told on the phone, but it's so
It's
much
different.
different when you're
Yeah.
in person with them, they're looking at everything,
Oh my gosh.
because, like, just because we feel good does not mean that things are always going on
No.
correctly. So I do wanna preference that, like, we need to make sure, like, go to those appointments, like, those
Yeah.
are super important, even your bariatric appointments, it's just
Always.
because sometimes there's underlying things that are happening that we just don't know, and
And
vitamin
even
deficiencies
later.
are there. Yeah.
Yeah, even later, like, I just went to mine, like, as, like, a over 3-year post-op, and, like, after at least from what my surgeon, does is, like, after 3 years post-op bariatric surgery, they do an endoscopy just to make sure that there's
Oh,
no issues going on inside as far as, like, stretching of the stomach or any type of bacteria backup and stuff like that, so I love that, like,
I like that, yeah.
yeah, yeah, I really like that he does that, just because, like, it kinda gives you, like, an inside look because, like how you said, like, you can be feeling so great and, like, think, like, everything is good, 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 and then all of a sudden, something could not be so good.
Yep.
And, it's the same thing, like, I always post, like, even about dumping syndrome, right? Like,
Mhm.
something like that, like, I always will, like, bring it up because, like, it's things that we could experience, but even if we don't experience them right away, doesn't mean that they're not going to happen.
Right. Right, and I agree because I've seen things, like, even for myself where
Yeah,
I felt like I was fine, but once I did my blood work, I was, about 3 years ago, so year 7. So guys,
yeah,
still, I will tell you, every year, go get your, blood work done
yeah, every
because
year.
you just don't know what the vitamins deficiencies are gonna be
True.
like, and we're not all perfect, right? Like,
No.
yes, I have my vitamins right here on the shelf, and they're from ProCare, and I use ProCare stuff, but the
Yeah.
deal is that, like, I'm also a person, and I forget, and I also was a goofball, and I was not taking the one with iron.
Oh,
So,
we were probably in the same boat.
I literally get my blood test back, and she's like, your iron is very low. And I was like, how low? And she goes, concerning low. And I was
Me
like,
too.
oh, okay, yeah, okay. And I was like, she goes, I'm going to send you to go get infusions done because it's that low. And you're going to be around a bunch of cancer patients, but you don't have cancer. That's just, you're just going to the same place they are. And I was like, okay, like, my dad had to deal with chemo and all the things. So it doesn't really phase me. It's more just sadness when I was in
Yeah.
there. But yeah, I had to do 3 different rounds. And then now that's a big difference. Like, I thought I was fine, but boy, did I have energy like crazy.
Yeah.
My
Well, I
brain
that was
fog was
me.
gone. It was
That was me.
wild.
My iron was so low that they were like, I don't understand. And mind you, I was taking my iron, but bariatric patients sometimes have trouble in taking
Absorbing.
iron when it's
Yeah.
oral, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I was taking it and I was very tired, like sluggish, whatnot. And I always go to my doctor for like my checkups. And next thing you know, like they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, why? And they're like, well, your blood test doesn't seem it. And I'm like, why? And they were like, your iron's at a 2.
Yeah. I think
Like,
it was a 6.
yeah,
Like, it
no,
was bad.
mine was at a 2. And they were like, how are you walking? Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't know. Like, what do you want me to tell you? I'm walking.
I
Like, I
know.
don't know. So they sent me I did 5 rounds of iron infusions. And you're
Oh,
right. Like,
wow.
the second they put it in, you get this like cooling sensation and you're like Roadrunner at that point. Cause you just
It
get so
is.
much energy and
You
it's
do.
beautiful.
And you
It's so
do.
beautiful.
With speaking of, I need to go get mine done this week. She was like, "We need to test you again," because she can see on my chart that, like, I do have iron issues.
Yeah.
And I've been very mindful trying to take my iron with, like,
Supplement.
the
Yeah.
one with it. But also I was told, "Don't take those for a few days, so that way when we do your blood work, we
You
can
could
see what
see
it
it.
actually." Yeah. And that way we're not seeing the multivitamin you're taking. We're actually seeing what is
What
absorbing
it is.
into your blood. So guys, do that. It's like 3 days prior to. You just
Yeah.
don't take your multivitamin for 3 days,
To
and then you can
actually
go in.
see.
Yeah. It's a big, like, that way, I mean, I know I want this to be like a one and done. Like, I don't wanna
Yeah.
have to keep getting my blood work. It doesn't bother me. I'm a weirdo where, like, I watch it the whole time.
I'm like
Like,
that too. I'm like
I
that too. I'm like,
if
"Oh, you're still going?"
Mhm. Yeah, and then when they're
Yeah.
putting it in, like, I'm watching them put it in, they're like, "This doesn't bother you?" I go,
No.
"You're putting something in my body, I am not gonna look away."
I was
Like,
actually amazed by it, like, how it made
mhm.
me feel.
Yeah, I was, like, impressed. I was like, "This is so fucking interesting and cool."
Yeah.
Like,
If I could
I was
have
like,
one on me 24/7, I'd have all the energy in the world.
right? I know. I bet mine is lower, so, like,
Yeah, I can tell you right now, mine is definitely low, and I'm gonna probably have to get it again.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what's
And that's the thing.
interesting
What happened?
is that I'll say that's what's interesting. You can now, once you felt it
You
before,
tell
you
it.
can now feel it again. Yeah,
Yeah, big
yeah.
time.
And so what is your tells? Just the
So
tiredness?
for me, it's just being like very tired, like very, very sluggish. Just like not wanting to move, almost like a warm sensation in my calves. Like it's
Okay.
weird. Like I get like a tingling in my calves. And I mentioned that to my doctor because I was like, is something else going on? Or like that's like, a part of it.
Yeah.
But from what I was told, it's just my body not having like the energy to like really, but somehow, some way, I still find energy to constantly work and do things
Do
and
everything that you
do
do.
everything that I do for myself
Yeah.
and everyone else. So
Well, and I
yeah,
think that's because you're probably super healthy on everything else.
correct. I
Like,
am.
from the way that you, approach food and water and protein
Yeah.
is a gentle way.
Yes.
You're very careful, it sounds like. You're really mindful about things.
Yeah.
And you're not letting your busy schedule, like, run you. You're running it, it sounds like.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
that's it's so I always post about like always making sure that I have like a drink on me, right? Or like a snack, right? So like in my car I keep like I call it my like sleep pouch because I carry like crackers in there, gum, sugar-free Jolly Ranchers, like just things on the go because like anyone that gets gastric sleeve or anything bariatric, like you could possibly find like a point in time where like you're sitting there and you're like man, oh man, I'm hungry. Like,
Yep.
and it's not meaning that you're hungry for an entire meal, but it's
Nope.
hungry like I just need a bite of something. So I, instead of denying myself, I make sure I always have something on hand. That way I don't deny myself and I make sure I satisfy myself and make sure my body gets that fuel that it needs. And then I just move forward.
Oh yeah, because you can feel once you're further
She'll
out, like you
shift.
can tell the blood sugar drop. Is
Yes.
what I can feel it within me where it's like I get a little like warm, a little flush,
Oh, yeah.
and then my stomach starts talking to me and it's like it's literally telling me, bitch, you better get some food in you like
Yes. Yes.
stat. And it doesn't have to be substantial.
No.
It just has to be something. So
Some,
when you said crackers, I am a component of someone that actually keeps just a little bit of just plain fucking saltine crackers
me too.
because
Yeah.
it
Just a little
helps.
sleeve.
Yeah, and even with like because it helps with nausea,
Yeah.
and all the things. And then I do because I love them, and I've been with Dive Bar and Built Bar for like
Oh,
4 or 5 years. I keep those on hand,
yeah. Anything
especially
like
when I'm road
granola,
tripping and.
granola based. Yeah,
Mhm,
granola based, sugar-free based. So like the reason why I keep like the sugar-free Jolly Ranchers, which literally taste like Jolly Ranchers,
they do, yeah.
they really do, like, is just because like sometimes just getting that flavor and that taste on my tongue just satisfies like what I wanted. But it was
Mhm,
maybe not a bite of something, but it was just like flavor on my tongue.
yep.
So I keep that in there. Gum doesn't really satisfy me all the time, but sometimes if I start to feel like a little gurgle, then like I'll have like a chew of a gum. But the crackers are like always something that I make sure I have in there. And always
Oh
if
yeah.
it's not hot out and then like it's cool out, sometimes I'll make sure I have like a sugar-free like dark chocolate just to give like a little bite of
Oh
like
yeah.
yeah.
100%. Because, guys, like, I've been through it. I've been through where I'm on an airplane, I'm in a car, I'm literally like road tripping, and
Yeah.
I've had those feelings and have had nothing on me. And it fucking sucks.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, I'm like, where's a meat
You get
stick?
into a mood.
I need cheese. Yeah, you're like now it's funny because your brain does shift. You're into a whole different mood.
Yeah.
And now it's all about food. You're
Yep.
like, I have to find it. Stop asking me fucking questions, people. Like, it's literally you kinda like tunnel vision and you're
You
like,
do.
"I
And it's a
have to
target.
find
Like
these
you
things."
have to just get it.
You have to just get it.
Yeah.
And I have the thing of, like, decision fatigue,
Mm,
because all day long I'm just, answering questions and making big
yeah.
decisions, and so I'm like, when I'm feeling that way and someone is asking me questions, I become an asshole. I'm just like, "Stop talking." Like, I'm just like I feel so bad.
Get
I'm
me
just
the
like
food.
I was like, "Leave me alone for, like, 10 minutes." Like, I need to either get, like, a protein shake in me, I need to get crackers, I need to get something
Oh my
because
god.
that feeling is just it's
It's
not fun, guys.
uncomfortable. It's
It's
so
very
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable. We do not want you to feel that way,
No.
so just keep things on hand as much
Yeah.
as you can, and I'm a big component of, like, 1, don't bring home your trigger foods, and when you leave the house, bring the good stuff with you,
Yeah.
so that way you're keeping yourself in
And
play
yeah,
and
accountable
and
for.
conscious. Yeah, because like, I talk about it, people laugh, it's like, don't put a crackhead in a crack house, right? Like, if they're recovering, that's not what you're gonna do, so we're
No,
not
you're
gonna
right.
bring in those things to our house, to our apartments, whatever you live in, and then when we leave the house, bring the good stuff, so that way you're not stopping,
Yeah. And
you know?
you have it already on hand.
Because even then you can have this decision fatigue where you're at all they have is like a I don't know, a McDonald's there or a
Yeah.
Wendy's, and you're just like, "Give me something with no bun." You're just like, "I don't know." Like, like you get just overwhelmed.
Yeah, no, you
Um,
do. You
you
do, big
do.
time.
This journey, like you've talked about, it's never ending.
No.
And I'm really happy that you said that because some people like to put time limits on things. And it's like,
Mhm.
hey guys, like that's
That's
you're putting an arbitrary rule on
yeah.
yourself and then you're stressing yourself out.
No, it's
Like,
true.
you literally every day you get to make a new decision and a choice of what you're going to do for
Yeah.
yourself. And you can choose, hey, I've done it where I'm like, well, today is going to be like, it's a friend's party. So you already know these things. This is
Yeah.
how I don't know what you do, but tell me if you do kind of the same or something a little different
Mhm.
of like, hey, like you have to prepare now for the days. Right. So like for our birthdays next week, like it doesn't change. You know our birthdays are gonna be there.
Yeah.
So like those like that's what I'm trying to tell people. Like even like your what is it? Like holidays are coming, so you're gonna
Yeah.
have be invited to things. So you know this in your head, back of your mind. So what should you do during the day? What I call pre-gaming. We're pre-gaming throughout the day, so that way you're fine when you hit these like little
Exactly.
get-togethers.
Well, and that's
Um,
I think a lot of it too just comes down to how do I word it? Like people just like constantly thinking and thinking
mhm.
and thinking. Like that's your worst enemy is to think, think, think.
It
Like
is, yeah.
that is the worst. You know, like for me when I have say a wedding to go to or holidays and whatnot, like I'm still enjoying myself. Like,
Mhm.
you know, when you decide to get bariatric surgery or, you know, whatever journey you're on as far as bariatric related or skin removal related, it's a lifestyle change and it's a
Yes.
lifestyle shift. But your life does not change in a negative way. It just
Mm-mm.
shifts in a way that you make your life better. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that a lot of people sometimes struggle with. You know, I think that again, it comes mentally, right? Like so you have to like self-reflect, you have to self-conversate with yourself, but at the end of the day, if you just constantly think, 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 think and think too much into what you're doing, it's not going to work for you. Why?
No.
Because you're just constantly thinking and not doing.
Yeah. You have to do it.
Just
You
do it.
literally just have to do it. Like, I've a big component of overthinking is a big problem,
Yes.
and a lot of us do it. I'm right there with you guys.
Yeah,
There's
I've
just
done it too.
moments. Yeah, we're human. We have those moments, but I've
Yeah.
learned from those moments, the more that I overthink, the worse that it gets. My
Yeah.
stomach starts hurting. I get a headache. I'm looking for reasons that aren't even there.
Yeah.
And it's a whole reflection of a bunch of stuff that aren't it's very arbitrary. Once we actually bring it down, you're like, "Why was I so worried?
Yeah.
Why was I acting that way?" You're
It's
like, "Oh,
true.
because I overthought everything instead
And
of
I
just
was my
taking
own worst
things."
enemy.
Yeah, and sometimes
Yeah,
you just have to take things as face value. It is what it is.
it's true.
There's no hidden meaning. There's none of that. It's just, you know what? Blue is blue, red is red. Like that's it. Like
It's
sometimes it's
just
that
it's
simple.
you and the decisions you make and just
Yep.
doing.
So before we go, we have a
Yeah,
few more minutes left. There's two things I would love to hear from you.
yeah.
One, this we love NSVs here. Non-scale victories are huge because
Oh,
the
yeah.
scale will eventually stop. So I want to hear from you. Like, what non-scale victories have you gotten to go through?
Oh, man. So, there's definitely I wanna say 2 or 3 that have been, like, definitely, like, high on
Big.
here. So one being that I finally fit into like a bikini. I
Yeah.
never fit into a bikini and I went and bought my first one ever. And that was like the best feeling because I'm like flat stomach, skin off, weight lost, incredible. So
Done.
that was definitely one. Mind you, I was someone that always, even like while losing the weight, I was always wearing a one piece. But like now that the
Same.
skin's removed, it's like a whole different world.
Mhm.
So that was definitely one. Another one would definitely be I went to Dorney Park with my students, and this is going back a few years ago, but I actually could not go on a ride in Disney because I was too big and I was told to
Okay.
get off. And
Yeah.
that's something that's very common when people talk about non scale victories, but you know, it was just something that meant so much to me. And
Yeah.
I finally was able to go on a ride that had a similar like buckle to the one that I was kicked off of. So it was like,
Let's
wow, like this is,
go.
and I had room, like they tightened the belt. So I was like, perfect. So that was another one. And then another one, well, my last one that really like sticks out to me is being able to like actually like crisscross my legs like on a chair
Hmm.
without feeling like sweaty in all different areas or feeling out of breath or not
Yep.
being able to get like my whole leg underneath and then my toe falls asleep. Like, you know,
Yep.
little like it's I call it little things like that, but they're actually big things that like I
Mhm.
always wanted to do but couldn't do. So those are definitely not. Oh, and I'll add in this one,
Yeah.
being able to do so I did like a 5 mile walk.
Okay.
That previously I tried and cried because I couldn't do it.
Hmm.
And I did it a few weeks ago and did the whole walk and felt incredible and felt like I probably could have kept going. So that was definitely one of the top ones, but those are
Fuck
definitely my
yeah.
non-scale victories. Yeah.
I love that. And they're so different from each
So
other.
different. Yeah.
Like
Cause I always say in non-scale victories are all around us. So they're
they
not
are.
just they're called non-scale victories for a reason. They're not on the scale, right?
Mhm.
So I always say, like, when I do posts on TikTok and like to my followers, never just weigh yourself. Weighing yourself is like the biggest enemy, right?
Yep.
I always say, look for it in your clothes, look for it in activities that you daily do, look for it in conversations that you have, right, with people, like things that you normally would do with others, vacations, outfits that you wore, bathing suits, whatever the case is. Even like vacations that you go on, like excursions, right? Excursions that you like did
Mhm.
before and like it was hard to do. Like look into things like that. But like scales could be your worst enemy or they could be a support system, right?
Right.
But it's what you make of it. So, not weighing yourself every single day, making a routine for yourself. I typically like to weigh myself like once every couple of weeks. Sometimes I'll
Mhm.
minimize it to like once a month. Just because listen, I was that person that was weighing myself every single day, sometimes 3 times a day. And it's not helpful. It's actually alarming and it's something that really can turn your whole situation around and really change your entire journey.
Yep.
So for me, I kind of had to make that self adjustment and I realized that non-scale victories are more than the scales.
Scale. Right? It
So,
just is because the non-scale victories are showing that you're living.
yeah,
And it's living proof that, hey, that
correct.
you did this shit and you keep showing up for yourself.
Yeah,
And look at how many different ones that you've done so far and just think of
exactly.
all the ones that are coming. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. And then the other question for me to you is, if someone was coming in this fresh, like say this is they jumped in, decided to listen to us today, what would be like a couple tips for them or takeaways that you want them to know before
Yeah.
they leave this call with us?
So definitely just understand yourself and to understand like what you're worth, right? So and just to know that like no one is forcing you to do this journey, right? But it's something that you should give a chance. You should understand the changes that it could have on yourself and those in your life, but just to also understand that your body is a special place and it's
Right.
something to not take for granted. So for so long and throughout the years I feel like so many of us like don't give ourselves the chance ever, and
Yeah, we
sometimes we
don't.
may put others before ourselves or we might not look deep into it and understand like what we're doing to our body. But at the end of the day, like after you see the change that, like, for instance, the gastric sleeve gave me and what your journey gave to you, you really can tell what a change it is.
Yeah,
And
you
just
can.
by giving yourself the time, giving yourself the grace, and giving yourself just the motivation at the end of the day is truly key. And
It
that's what's going to
really is.
create success.
Well, I could not say that any better, Jenna. Thank you
Yeah,
so much for
of
coming
course.
on and
Thank you
sharing
so
your
much.
story. And guys, go check her out. She is the Sleeve Club on TikTok. And I will have all of her information below. And go wish her a happy birthday because when this comes out, her birthday's on Halloween. I'm
Yes,
the day
Mel
before
too. Don't
Halloween.
forget.
That's right. Both of our birthdays were Scorpios,
Yes,
bitches. I love it.
yes,
So,
yes.
all right. Like always, guys, remember, take your vitamins, drink your water, and eat that protein, get that sleep. And of course, don't be an asshole to one another.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Our Sleep Life podcast. Don't forget to head over to my YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, and follow me on all the socials so you stay connected.